have a list ready to go. And then Kimberly, would you share yours as well?
I didn't hear the question. What, favorite 3 books? Favorite 3 books?
Yeah, it starts as actually the 4 agreements is the first one. The 7 spiritual laws of success was the very first thing that I ever picked up. It was an audio by Deepak Chopra. That was the very first thing I was ever introduced to. But the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and
there's a companion that goes with that too.
What?
There's a companion now that goes with that too.
The companion guide, actually, the Take Shape for Life. Here, Dr. Anderson's Habits of Health. You can't read that book once. And it's a project. It's an ongoing program that you go through over and over again. And, I mean, I just went through the companion guide again as an experience. So, I mean, we all need to have that mastered, and I don't think anyone actually does. Because over and over again. Maybe Dr. Eck.
I was going to say Habits of Health too, and truly. It really is good reading if you all haven't picked up a copy. It's good. Dr. Ray's Habits of Health.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Another one that actually I just read, I think I told you about it, Whitney, is by Robert Schultz. It's called Onward. And it's a book about Starbucks, and it says, the subtitle is How Starbucks Fought for Its Life Without Losing Its Soul. And if you are going through a time of change, which seems like we're always ever evolving, if you're going through a time of change, whether in your life, in your business, whatever that looks like, it really talks about really, meeting your fears, doing those difficult changes that need to happen to really have a better outcome. So that's really good reading as well.
You said on one of your slides, you said focus on the white spaces. So everybody else can hear you too. Okay.
On one of your slides, you had focus on the white spaces, but I didn't really grasp what you meant about that.
That was my black dog story that I chose to take out to provide less time. So there was actually, everyone heard my black dog story?
It's awesome.
I took that out to I'll tell you my story if you catch me afterwards. I'd be happy to help format that link. Okay, sorry about that. Actually, let me tell it real quick.
Yeah, I think we have time.
So back to when I was not being willing to be mentored by Greg, I used to bust into his office, and I had a bad day where a client sent back an order, and I had a coach who I thought was going to be my next big leader who wouldn't call me back, and it seemed like everything was going wrong. And one bad day turned into a bad week. So I kicked in his door, and I was brought up to scream. So I'm screaming at him and telling him, I want to quit this. I cannot do this anymore. I mean, I was so angry about the company. I blamed them because the product, whatever, the customer was sending it back. And all of these things, I was so upset. And he said, do you want my help? I was in so much pain that I was ready to say, yeah, I do. And Greg is so cute. He's calm. That's why we're still together and patient. He pulled out a piece of paper, and he just started writing. Looking at him, thinking, oh, what are you going to do? And he holds up, and this was a blank piece of paper. And he says, what do you see? What do you guys see? Black tie. Oh, get ahead. I like it. So he said, what does the black tie represent? It represents the order that person sent back. It represents the person who didn't like the taste of the food. It represents the client that fell off the program, the coach that you wanted. It represents all of the things that aren't going well. And it catches your attention on this page, doesn't it?
Maybe.
But he said, what about all this other space? What does that represent? He said, how do you like your commute to work? I live in San Diego. I walk down the hallway to get to my office. He said, how do you like your health? How many people have you helped? What are you grateful for? So what that helped me do as part of the process of asking questions is to shift my focus to what the white space is and what that represents is all of these people, all of the lives that we get to touch, the people we spend time with.
Thank you for sharing.